Thank you, Ollie. Good afternoon once again. The Dutch have very good memories of Munich from the previous Euros in Germany back in 1988, but this team appear to be a long way from Rinus Mikul's total footballers. Romania have nothing to lose today. They have a Hadji wearing number 10 and an Ordinescu in the technical area, a combination which did special things in previous generations, and they have already surpassed expectations by making the knockout round here. A reminder of the two teams once again. Two changes for Romania. Vasily Mogos comes into the lineup for the first time in this tournament due to a suspension for Nicosa Bursu, and Dennis Mann is back in the starting lineup as well. Florian Koman also drops to the bench, unavailable for this game. Nitsa in goal, Ratsu Dragusan, Borsa and Mogos the back four. Radislav Marin playing just in front of Mariusz Marin in midfield. Stanciu will try and be the playmaker, with Hadji and Mann supporting Dragus in attack. The Netherlands team has had a week to really stew on what happened against Austria. Plenty has been said. Three changes as well throughout the team. Denzel Dumfries, Xavi Simons and Steven Bergwijn coming into the side. Donald Marlin, Joey Veerman and Luciano Hertroida are the men who make way. So Verbruggen in goal, Dumfries, De Vrij, Van Dijk and Ake, their much discussed back four. Schouten, Simons and Reinders in midfield, with Bergwijn, Depay and Gakpo in attack. Unsurprisingly, Munich is a sea of orange shirts, but Romania have support here as well, and the action will get underway here on TalkSport following the national anthems. We're used to seeing this stadium in Munich decked out in all red, but it's the yellow of Romania and the orange of the Netherlands here today. And we have all German officials for this game. Felix Weyer is in charge, Daniel Siebert the fourth official, and Bastian Danker is the VAR. He's been heavily used 6 times during the group stage. And Scott, we've been talking about the criticism that England players have been receiving and whether it's right or wrong in the build-up to this game. The two main pundits on Dutch television, two great players of the past, Rafael van der Vaart and Pierre van Hooijdonk. And let's say it's a good job I'm not analysing England, because I'm not sure that our players would like what they've been saying about the Dutch.
I know, you're absolutely right, and you mentioned it to me beforehand when we spoke earlier that, you know, they're absolutely scathing, and the fact that England are complaining about former players saying what they're saying, I mean, if they actually listen to what these former players are saying, wow, I'm not quite sure how they'd react to that. So, no, it goes on everywhere, there's no doubt about it, and even worse, and I think this is a game, you talked about the FIFA rankings, which, you know, doesn't mean anything when it's 11v11, but the bottom line is, think about the odds, and you hear that earlier as well, that Netherlands are meant to be seen, and certainly in their country, to win this and win this pretty easily. I wouldn't be surprised, obviously, if they do. I would be surprised if it was easily.
Well, they've not won a knockout game in the Euros since 2004 in Portugal, when they overcame Sweden in a penalty shootout. In the previous Euros, they went out in the round of 16 against Czechia in Budapest, and that was a rather meek performance after they won all 3 games in Amsterdam during the group stage. They have undoubted talent, but it's all about getting that winning blend, and that has been an issue for Ronald Koeman throughout the tournament. They started slowly against Poland, but eventually prevailed with Wout Weghorst coming off the bench once again. Played well in patches against the French. Maybe were unlucky with the offside decision to rule out the goal from Xavi Simons. And then against Austria, well, they scored twice, but some of the defending was lamentable. Of course, Romania won their group, but all 4 teams were level on points, so you can read into that what you want to. But it's the Netherlands who will get the match underway wearing all dark blue, Romania in all yellow. It is the final day in the round of 16. The winners of this tie will meet Austria or Turkey in Berlin in the quarterfinals. That game coming up live on TalkSport later on. But here, the Dutch looking to attack early on, playing towards their supporters, group behind the goal away to our right. Memphis Depay with the headband, more suitable to Wimbledon than the European Championships, but there's an early foul from him. on Marius Marin, and it will be a free kick for Romania.
No, but it's a positive start, wasn't it, in the first 30 seconds, and I think sometimes you can just put a real intent out there. You want to be very much on the front foot. And it was actually, we talked about him earlier, Radu Dragoșan is going to have a wonderful game if they are the Romanians to get through. It was just not realising where Memphis Depay was, and the ball was kept inside, and in the end Romania were able to get it away, but it was as I say, a start of intent from the Netherlands.
Headed forward by Razvan to Razvan Marin on the far side, but the Romanians just running out of room, and Romania have won only one of the previous 14 meetings between these two nations. The Dutch have scored 29 times and Romania only 3 times. And that victory came during the European qualifiers for Euro 2008. But the Dutch did beat the Romanians in the group stage in that competition. Christian Huntelaar and Robin van Persie were the goal scorers that day, but they don't really have a starting striker of that quality in the squad at the moment, as Verbruggen tries to play out, almost gets caught out by Dennis Mann on the edge of the 6-yard area. As a result, Romania are trying to build on the far side there right now, with Mann looking to take on Ake towards the byline. He's challenged, but Razvan Marin with a cross into the penalty area, looking for Hadji, and Denzel Dumfries with probably a goal-saving challenge to nod the ball away inside the 6-yard box. And eventually, in midfield, Depay has been fouled by Stanciu, but Romania there with a really good opportunity.
Oh, I tell you what a start. We talked about the intent from the Netherlands, and suddenly Romania go down the other end and very nearly get a good opportunity. It's a wonderful ball in, great defending from Dumfries, and his elbow actually catches Hadji, who has some blood now coming out of his head, so they'll have to tend to that. But wow, I thought this might be a bit cagey, but it looks, and I hope it continues. You've got two teams who want to try and attack.
2.5 minutes played, Hadji receiving treatment inside the Dutch 6-yard area. Of course, he wears number 10 like his dad did.
No pressure there then.
Well, his father scored in the only match that the Romanians have won in the knockouts of a major tournament. That was when they knocked out Argentina in the round of 16 back in 1994 in Pasadena. The Argentinians had just lost Maradona to a drugs test, and it was the Romanian number 10 Hadji who ran the show that day. Eventually scored what turned out to be the winning goal. And the father of the coach, Eduard Ordinescu, Angel, was the coach on that day.
I'll tell you what, they're going to try and press high Romania, and we know that Verbruggen, being at Brighton, is very comfortable on the ball, but he was getting the ball back a couple of times, and one of the touches, I'll tell you what, unbelievable. Dennis Dragos was just a couple of inches away from maybe getting deflection, and then if he had it done, who knows where that would have gone.
And that's something they must have worked on in training, because you know what the Dutch will do, and you know how they could be vulnerable.
Absolutely. And Verbruggen is very good with the ball at his feet, but it just takes one mistake. That's all it does, which obviously can happen to a midfielder, can happen to a striker, can happen to a wide player, and yet it doesn't result in the goal that way. But if a goalkeeper makes that type of mistake, that's a real risk and reward.
Well, Hadji, who is being watched by his father here today, still has a bandage around his head at the moment. They may have to patch him up off the field, so the game is back underway. Romania playing on with 10 players for now, as the Dutch with De Vrij on this near side. Wide to Dumfries, into Memphis Depay. Bergwijn looking to attack the penalty area down the right, but he's offside, and it will be a free kick for Romania. Romania, who finished top of Group E, the group in which all 4 teams finished level on points. They beat Ukraine 3-0. That was enough to eventually win the group. Lost to Belgium 2-0 in what was a tight game, settled by the Belgians late in the day, and then a 1-1 draw with Slovakia ensured that both teams would go through. And the Dutch were third in Group D, beat the Poles, drew with the French, and lost to the Austrians. And Hadji is still receiving treatment behind the goal away to our left, and it looks like they're applying an Ina Sharple style hairnet to his injury. That's one for the teenagers.
Honestly, Nigel, I was just about to say you need to be a certain age. I was going to say Hilda Ogden, but
Yeah.
you got Ratsu, who's got the blue rinse. You got.
There's a long-range shot fired in for the Netherlands as we continue to discuss Coronation Street, and it was Simons who had the shot for a long way out, and it was a comfortable save for Nitsa.
Yeah, and Hadji with the hairnet. But let's get back to the football. A first shot on target, and do you know what? It's worth a pop. I have to say, Simons back in the side, incredibly talented. Wants to try and dominate the game from midfield and get forward as much as possible. It just dipped a bit as well, wasn't it? It's worth a pop from there.
Hadji's back on the field of play. I would imagine there are more Dutch supporters inside the stadium, but the Romanians are the ones generating most of the volume here. They've come with some confidence, and I think there's trepidation for the Dutch on and off the field.
Yeah, and if you look at the Romanian crowd, it's a beautiful sea of yellow, isn't it? It really is. They're really making the noise, really happy to be where they are, really trying to get behind their side, and well, in the first 5 or 6 minutes they'll be pretty happy with what they've seen.
Okay, with a long ball forward, looking for Bergwijn, but overhit and gathered by Florin Nitsa, who will be 37 years of age tomorrow. 6.5 minutes played. You're listening to Euro Game Day live on TalkSport, presented by Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18 plus. Please drink responsibly. And Nitsa comes outside his penalty area, under no real pressure to clear the ball away. The long ball downfield headed away by De Vrij, but now Hadji on this near side, the Romanian left, and he's got the opportunity to break forward. Has Dragosan down the centre. Razvan Marin also made the run, and in the end it was covered well by Nathan Ake. But these runners from midfield for Romania are causing the Netherlands one or two headaches at the moment.
Yeah, it's a great run from Hadji, isn't it? Less time on his left foot, but he is two-footed. The way he just glided past the players. You know, Romania really feel they can win this game, and if they do start positive, which they have, and if they are able to get that first goal, with this atmosphere and the crowd behind them at the moment, this could be another historic night.
A challenge on this near side on the Romanian main striker, Denis Dragus, one of the players in the team and in the squad who came through the Georgi Hadji Academy, which has really helped to reinvigorate Romanian football in recent years. They were unbeaten in qualification, conceding only 5 times in 10 games, but this is also a club or a team who were relegated into League C of the Nations League coming up, so there will really be a return to reality for them when the European season gets back underway in September, as Stanciu hooks it wide to this near side, straight out of play.
It's a wonderful story what you're saying about what Georgi Hadji's done. I mean, you know, to do that and to give that amount back to Romanian football, no matter how much you're worth, £10 million is a lot of money.
Well, the Dutch play a crossfield ball wide to the far side, which is cut out by Mann. He's got support on the outside from Ratsu, and Van Dijk has to come across, does well to avoid conceding the corner, but Romania have a long throw potentially on the far side, and again it was Ratsu with the blue rinse who was getting forward, and that came from a poor crossfield ball from the Dutch. 9 minutes played, 0-0. Stanciu by the corner flag on the far side. Gakpo makes the challenge, but it will be another throw-in for Romania, who have started this game very well. Ratsu into the penalty area for Razvan Marin on this near side. Plays it back outside the penalty area. The cross is delivered in, a stooping header away from Virgil van Dijk, and now nodded forward by Bergwijn, who is the 4th different player Ronald Koeman has used wide on the right-hand side in the tournament. And there's an opportunity for Mogosh, the player who's come into the side today, really coming back from the cold to get forward. And now Stanciu for Romania down their left. And the more controlled football has come from Ordinescu's side in the opening stages. Walker wide towards the far side again, and it slipped in towards Razvan Marin on the edge of the penalty area. Man in support, and eventually Yuri Schouten will try and bring the ball clear, almost gives it away to Stanciu. There was a miscommunication at the back there between De Vrij and Verbruggen until the goalkeeper hammers the ball into touch on the far side, and the Romanian fans here are really sensing something.
Been a brilliant start for Romania, really has, very much on the front foot. The Netherlands in the first 30 seconds showed what they wanted to do. They haven't really attacked the goal at all. since then, very impressive, and the Netherlands need to get hold of the ball, just control the tempo of the game.
Schouten plays it forward now to Reinders, who's got room midway inside the Dutch half, flicked on by Simons for Depay, but it's cleared away initially by Dragusan, and now Depay inside the penalty area. The shot to the near post is blocked well by Nitsa, but the flag was raised and he was offside.
Do you know what, that's actually brilliant defensive play. Everyone saw the run from Depay and they were in the line. I'm just looking at a replay now, and you can see they knew exactly where he was, half a yard offside. Don't panic, realise that you were, and of course with VAR nowadays, you know if he is offside he will be absolutely given. Back in my day you needed to be 100% sure, but yeah, really good defensive play from Romania, but the first time really since that Xavi Simons shot on target the Netherlands have troubled Romania in any way.
11 minutes played, the final match in the round of 16. Live from Leipzig on TalkSport, 8 o'clock kickoff. Austria against Turkey. And these two sides and those two sides are potential opponents for England later on in the competition, should things go the Three Lions' way. And we'll join Hugh Rosencroft and the team in Leipzig as soon as this game finishes, and of course we could have extra time and penalties.
We've got a very nervy Saturday evening to go through before we start thinking about the semi.
I mean, people were discussing who England would play should they beat Slovakia, and that wasn't very straightforward, was it?
To say the least.
And this hasn't been straightforward for the Dutch so far, as Dragusan of Spurs has it for Romania, 15 yards inside their own half. 12 minutes played in Munich, 0-0. Hadji and Mogosh will chase a long diagonal ball forward down this near side, but it's overhit. But the Netherlands will have a defensive throw-in, and it's the Dutch's first visit to this particular stadium, although of course they've won the Euros and lost a World Cup final in Munich in the past. Depay heads in field with a good recovery challenge from Marish Marin, and it's guided all the way back to Nitsa. And the Dutch not really sparking as an attacking unit. Of course they always play that 4-3-3 formation. Simons at the heart of midfield, but he'll always try and get forward. Schouten, if anything, is the more defensive minded player. And Depay is the false nine in terms of stature, although not his goal scoring record. 4 behind Robin van Persie. Here's a chase into the penalty area now for Draguš for Romania. The ball just strikes him on the heel. Another simple ball forward which nearly caught the Dutch out.
Great ball in behind. And again, we've seen lots of countries, including England, just pass, everything in front. Romania look like they wanted to try and get in behind if they possibly can.
And the Romanians coming forward again now. On the far side with Mann. Cut square of the penalty area. Left foot shot from him, not too far over the top. And again, Dennis Mann had so much time there to bring that ball in field from the touchline all the way up towards the D. No one laid a glove on him, and the shot was just too high.
Yeah, and as he gets the ball, it's Cody Gakpo who comes close to him. Not the defensive ability, obviously, of Nathan Ake. Allows him to come inside, and by then he's already on a run, got some momentum. I'll tell you what, that wasn't a million miles over, was it?
De Vrij finding his inter-teammate Dumfries. Wide towards this near side, and Schouten. Bergwijn's in space for the Netherlands down the right. Good recovery challenge though from Marish Marin. Bergwijn has gone down. It was a forceful challenge from Marin, but Felix Vaya, the judge, got the ball cleanly, and I think he's right.
Do you know what? It's a great challenge. In today's game, that could easily be given as a foul, but there's not many
times. He did rather launch himself.
Well, he did. He kind of jumped off his feet, but by the time he actually made contact with the ball, he did get the ball. And there's not many tackles nowadays you can get ball and man and get away with it.
Depay looking to jink his way into the penalty area down the right-hand side, but he overruns it, and it's a goal kick.
And Bergwijn's still struggling with that as well. I can tell you, Nigel, from a defensive point of view, if you can put in a really meaty tackle, win the ball, hurt the man a little bit, but in a very legal way, of course, you come up thinking, yes, And Stephen Bergwijn will think twice about trying to take him on.
Nitsa clears long downfield, but straight out of play. And it will be a throw-in for the Netherlands. Terrific atmosphere inside the stadium in Munich at the moment. The Romanians are seeing their team coming to play here, and they've responded to that.
I don't want to speak too early, but Ollie asked me, what type of game do you see? And I thought it might be quite cagey at the beginning. This, for me, is the best first 15 minutes of the round of 16. Let's see how it develops.
Now Simons on the far side. He could yet turn out to be the key player for the Netherlands. Slip forward to Depay. And back in field to Milan's Tjani Reinders. Bergwijn. And now De Vrij down the line for Dumfries. Dumfries, though, is covered by Hadji. Hadji believes it should be a goal kick, but a corner's been given to the Dutch.
No, but he's done well, though, Hadji, coming back, because Dumfries had pushed on, the ball was in behind him, and yet he still somehow found a way. It's definitely a corner. You can't complain about that, but good defending from your wide player.
Depay will take the corner kick. Down the Dutch right-hand side. 16 minutes played. 0-0 in Munich. Depay's delivery, it was a good one. De Vrij was challenging for it, but it's headed behind inside the 6-yard area by Borka, and it will be another corner here for the Netherlands. And Depay will try again with another outswinger. And it's very deep, looking for Ake, who got something on that. It comes back out towards Depay, who under pressure manages to keep the ball in play, skies the ball into the 6-yard box, but it's claimed by Nitsa, who quickly looks to play it forward, looking for the pace of Dennis Mann on the far side, but it's covered well by Shouter.
Worth a go, though. Worth a go. Again, we haven't seen that enough, where goalkeepers catch a ball and looking to try and counter really, really quickly. And if that had gone through, it would have been in the final third to have a one-on-one with the last defender.
Now Simons down the left-hand side, challenged by Dragusin, and it will be another Dutch corner. Good spell for them with 17 minutes played, but it's still 0-0 on TalkSport.
I think what we're seeing is both teams trying to be very much on the front foot and not afraid to have a reasonably high line. It's not a stupidly high line, but then the opposition side is looking to play the ball over the top, so we're seeing quite an end-to-end game at the moment, which we haven't seen much in the Euros.
An in-swinger this time from Depay. Cleared away at the near post by Dragus, but here is Simons now. Slip forward to Ake, down the left, back out towards Depay, the corner taker. His cross whipped in is blocked, but the Dutch regain possession with Reinders, who scored his first international goal in the warm-up game against Scotland. Now Dumfries running Simons on the left. Xavi Simons, of course, his parent club is Paris Saint-Germain, but he had such a good season on loan with Leipzig and did really well with PSV before that. 27 goals and 19 assists in 2 seasons out on loan, and you would imagine with Mbappe now gone, he will now get his opportunity.
Chance to step up, isn't it? It's a massive hole that Mbappe is going to lose both on and off the pitch. And he somehow help fill the void.
Now Gakpo coming in field, fires in the shot. Oh, he scored! Cody Gakpo catching out Nitsa at the near post, and against the run of play, the Netherlands have taken the lead. Cody Gakpo's third goal of the tournament, and really that should have been kept out by Florin Nitsa. Romania have made all the running, but it's the Dutch who strike first. Romania 0, the Netherlands 1.
Well, it's heartbreaking for the Romanians because it is against the run of play. They've been very much on the front foot, but that is the danger of allowing someone to come inside. And he does, he comes inside, Ratsu. No one really comes across, certainly not to stop the shot. And then it's about, right, do you let it go through in between yourself and the near post? And Nitsa gets a touch, he gets fingers on it, he's got to be stronger. He should be keeping that down. It is a mistake from the goalkeeper, but look, let's give credit to Cody Gakpo. They've been very much under pressure in the game so far, but he was allowed a bit of time, and he certainly hit the target there. That's all you can try and ask him to do.
Now Hadji goes for goal himself. Goes to the near post as well in response at the other end, but it's dragged wide. Ricardo Gakpo scored 3 times at the World Cup in Qatar, and that's his 3rd goal of the tournament here. 6 in 10 overall in major tournaments for the Netherlands.
Yeah, it's not a bad ratio, that, is it, when you're talking about the very highest level. But what I would say is, again, from a defensive point of view, so disappointing. You actually cannot allow him to come inside. Someone then has to come across, and it was too late. And then you got your goalkeeper. You're relying on him to keep that shot out. Credit to Gakpo, but it's a really poor goal to concede, especially when you're on top. And you are underdogs going into this game, and you've started so well.
Well, that may settle the Dutch down. 21 minutes played. Although we have seen a number of teams come from behind to win in the round of 16. And here is an opportunity for Dumfries to break forward now down the right. The cross in towards the far post is hammered away by Ratsu, but he rather shanked the clearance, and it's behind for a corner kick to the Netherlands.
Well, they've just got to be careful, Romania. They don't lose their heads and concede a second. This is not a classic Netherlands side, but if they go 2-0 up, can't see them allowing Romania to come back into it.
21 minutes played on Talk Sport. Romania 0, the Netherlands 1. Felix Vaya is just sorting out some holding between Gakpo and Marius Marin. Depay with the corner, high to the far post, headed away unchallenged, and then Hadji volleys clear. And Romania did come from behind to get the point which won the group against Slovakia. And maybe a slightly different proposition here. Depay on this near side. And the challenge from Marius Marin, and it's gone behind for a goal kick. And we're watching on the monitor again the goal from Gakpo. Struck it well, but the goalkeeper had a good look at it.
Look, again, let's give credit to Gakpo. He ran with intent, and again, we've seen lots of players for lots of countries in these Euros just get into that wide position, then just pass it back. No, as soon as he got the ball, you see what he wanted to do, running at the right back with intent. You just can't allow him to come inside. It's what these inverted wide players want to do. Not only does it get on their better foot, but also it opens up the goal.
And the Dutch now have only failed to score twice in their last 38 games, and they were both against the French, including the group stage and also qualification. Hadji, though, coming forward now for Romania. Slip wide towards Stanciu. He pulls it back towards the edge of the penalty area. Dennis Mann with the shot. And in the end, he was challenged by Van Dijk as he hit it, and the ball spins behind.
It's good response, isn't it, for Romania? Getting into the box, cutting the ball back. And yes, the right thing to do. Man comes off the wing. Yes, actually, Van Dijk was there, but it was Nathan Ake who engaged with him. And that's sometimes what you see with Van Dijk. He wants to be so cool and look everything as if he's playing on his tempo, but he should be the one getting close as possible. Good defending from Ake.
24 minutes played. Euro Game Day live on Talk Sport. The Dutch leading the Romanians by 1-0. And if it stays like this, they'll be heading to Berlin for a quarter-final against Austria or Turkey, who meet live on Talk Sport in Leipzig later on this evening. Romania started the game the better, but it's the Dutch who have the lead. Now Reinders coming forward again. Schouten. Wide to Dumfries on this near side. And the Dutch have not really had too much control in any of the games they played so far, but they've got the opportunity here to really calm things down and play the game at their tempo. Now Schouten. Running Dumfries, who's challenged by Hadji, and it's back towards De Vrij again.
It's interesting, we're watching obviously with our eyes, and our eyes are telling us that Romania have started better, yet if you look at the stats in terms of shots on target and shots off target, then it's even possession. It's the Netherlands who seem to be having the better of it, but no, the intensity came from Romania. First goal very important.
Now De Vrij coming forward, wide towards the right-hand side, and Dumfries, the corner, or the cross is over the head of Depay. Reinders fires in a shot which will take a deflection and spin behind by the corner flag on the far side for a Dutch corner.
No, it's good play, good defensive play, and brave from Ragusin as well. We saw exactly what Reinders did, got the first touch, he's just waiting that split second for it to come back down, which allows Ragusin to close down as much as possible. Stayed big. Could easily have been 2-0.
Another Netherlands corner here. Flighted in by Depay. De Vrij with the header, and it ripples the outside of the netting. Well, Stefan De Vrij arriving unmarked at the far post. He's not scored for the Dutch since 2015, but he should have done there.
Well, it's a simple ball to the far post, isn't it? And Bork has lost him completely. Now, if you're at one side of this stadium, you think that's gone in. But it's hit the side netting. Unfortunately for the Dutch, it's the wrong side.
Oldenescu in conversation with Hadji on this near side. Nitsa, the goalkeeper, was just flexing a couple of muscles there, and he does seem to be just feeling the small of his back as he prepares to take the goal kick. Right-footed, long up towards the halfway line. Rising is De Vrij, and his downward header finds Bergwijn. Depay makes the run in behind. The challenge comes in from Dragusin, and that was an all-or-nothing challenge inside the penalty area, but he won the ball, and it's a corner. But had he not timed that right, it would have been a penalty and a red card.
All or nothing, perfect description. He's inside the box, he's running at it, he's almost got to come round Depay. So once you decide that you're going to dive for this particular tackle and for the ball, you have to win it 100%.
Depay with the corner kick, flicked away at the near post. Simons all the way back to the halfway line, and Dumfries. If you've just joined us on Talk Sport, the Netherlands leading by 1-0. Cody Gakpo firing the Dutch ahead. He's now the joint highest scorer at this European Championships, along with Mikatadze, Musiala and Schranz. And now Bergwijn has been dumped on his pants on this near side by Dragus, and it will be a free kick for the Netherlands, which is much better than a corner kick on this near side.
Yeah, you don't really want your centre forward coming back. It shows how much he wants to try and help out his team defensively, but they need to just keep their heads at the moment, Romania. After that goal, Netherlands very much on top. If they're able to get the second, they take full control of this match. While it's still 1-0, Romania very much in the game.
28 minutes played, the Dutch scenting a second. Depay with the free kick, high to the far post, headed away initially by Marius Marin. Now Schouten back to the halfway line, and Dumfries. And among European players, only Kylian Mbappe has scored more goals across the last World Cup and this Euros than Cody Gakpo. And in terms of Dutch players scoring 3 times in the Euros, Gakpo has joined the likes of Van Basten, Bergkamp, Kluivert, Van Nistelrooy, and surprisingly perhaps Wijnaldum, who scored 3 times in the previous tournament. Now Dumfries coming forward again for the Dutch, cuts it back down the right-hand side. Stanciu though was there to send the ball behind for another corner, and at the moment the Romanians, who started the game so well, have got a bit of a problem because the Dutch are getting forward in the wide areas very easily, particularly on this near side.
Yeah, it's amazing how goals do change games and change the psychology of it. The Netherlands very much on the back foot, but once that goal's come, giving them confidence. Now it's Romania making sure they don't concede that second. They need to get hold of the ball themselves in the way that Netherlands about 10 minutes ago needed to.
Depay with another corner, headed away at the near post by Dragusin. Now Simons as we approach the half hour, and the Dutch now in control of the game, leading by 1-0, looking to win their first knockout game for 20 years at a European Championships. Simons on this near side had the opportunity to go back to De Vrij, but instead goes all the way back to Verbruggen. And you're listening to Euro Game Day live on Talk Sport, presented by Burger King. Bring home the ultimate food satisfaction. Get your favourites delivered now. And There are spells in the game at the moment where Romania can't really get a kick.
It's clever play from the Dutch. They're 1-0 up and they're just keeping the ball and passing around them.
Simons now down the left-hand side, finding the goal scorer Gakpo. Schouten quickly on towards Reinders, midway inside the Romanian half. Lovely ball forward to find Dumfries, and the ball back across the 6-yard area was heading into the path of Depay. He would have had a tap in, but Dragusan with a brilliant challenge. It's a corner, but it was so nearly a second goal.
Oh, that's as good as a goal. It really is. It's a simple tap-in for Memphis Depay. If the ball did come to him 6 yards out, what a tackle. And from a defensive point of view, when you're facing your own goal and you're stretching like that, you're thinking, please don't go in. That is a wonderful challenge and a very brave one as well from Dragusan.
Depay will take the corner kick on this near side. And Romania really hanging on at the moment. It's nodded down by Van Dijk, away from goal, but he's been penalised anyway, and it will be a free kick for Romania, who just need to regroup here mentally as much as anything else, as Romania do have a free kick and they try and play out, and it's the Dutch who are quickly pressing on them. And there's a free kick given on this near side, is it? No, I think it's been stopped due to a clash of heads, and it's Dumfries who is down along with Mogos, and Mogos looks to be in some trouble.
Yeah, Dumfries has come in. He's trying to get as tight as possible, but he's definitely caught Mogos. The initial worry is, did he catch him in the head?
No, it was in the windpipe, I think.
It was. The way that the two clashed, it looked like it could have been a clash of heads. And even the windpipe was painful enough. But again, now it shows how much the Dutch are on the front foot, even without the ball. And I made a note of that Dragusan clearance, because honestly, that is as good as a goal. It's an amazing clearance. It's a really brave one. 2-0 would have been tough for Romania to come back from.
But it was a really good Dutch move, and that's the sort of way that Ronald Koeman wants them to play, getting the fullbacks forward, getting them running in behind, and the pace of Dumfries is causing so many issues at the moment.
Absolutely, and at times he's playing like a wide player, and Nathan Ake is just tucking round, so there's Ake, the Van Dijk and De Vrij almost as a back three. Obviously got Gakpo on one side and Bergwijn as well, but Denzel Dumfries is just bombing on down that right hand side as much as he possibly can. And after the first 20 minutes up until that goal, Dutch on the back foot. It's been complete turnaround since then.
Well, Mogos is still receiving treatment. He seemed to be struggling with a shortage of breath following the clash.
I'll be honest with you, Nigel, the way he was like sort of waving and so dramatically at the bench, I'm thinking he's fine. You don't do that if you're really hurt. Well, painful of course, but not if you're really hurt.
Well, there was a twirl of the fingers from a member of the medical team suggesting that they may have to make a change, but we'll wait and see. 33 minutes played on TalkSport. Romania 0, the Netherlands 1. Don't forget, 5 p.m. on Saturday in Dusseldorf, England against Switzerland, and two fairly tasty games coming up on Friday. 5 o'clock, Spain against Germany. 8 o'clock, Portugal against France. There'll be some big names going out of the competition on Friday night, and England, of course, in action on Saturday.
Brilliant, isn't it? What games we've got coming up.
And now Simons, the Netherlands, looking to also play on Saturday as the high cross into the area is headed away initially, returned by Schouten, but Hadji is there to clear the ball away. Now Dragus, so again is very deep on this near side. 3 Dutch shirts around him, and in the end Dragus runs it out of play, and it will be a throw-in for the Netherlands, who are really hunting impacts very effectively at the moment.
Well, Dragus is quite often coming down on the left-hand side. I think he needs to stay up a bit more.
Dumfries swings in the cross, met by Ratsu at the far post. Now Van Dijk steps in, and support from Ake. Van Dijk was just clipped there by Dragus, but play continues. Verbruggen, fully 30 yards from his goal, has plenty of time to pick out De Vrij on this near side. Slip forward by Bergwijn for Dumfries again, and another good challenge for Marius Marin. And once again, he took his participation in the game in his hands there, because he dived in with both feet off the ground, but by the time he'd landed, he got to Dumfries just in time.
He did, and he kind of heeled the ball, didn't he? Which goes to show the angle he'd come in at. You've got to be very, very careful with that, but I have to say he's really trying to protect his back four as much as possible in this 4-1-4-1 formation.
Bogdan Rakovican will be coming on for Romania, presumably to replace Mogos after that earlier clash with Dumfries. He's a player with very little international experience behind him, plays for Kraków in Poland. And Mogos, who has waited so long to play in a major tournament, has lasted barely half an hour. That's unlucky for him.
Yeah, I still can't work out whether he's hit a bit of his head there, a bit of clash of heads. And they're thinking they've got to be careful. Well, don't get me wrong, that's obviously painful coming in at the pace he has. If it's the chest, you think he'd be able to get over that? I just wonder whether they're thinking there's a bit of a head clash in there as well.
Rakovican will be winning only his fourth cap. He's not played any part in the Euros so far, rather like Mogos before today. And he'll be coming on to replace him very soon.
I think he was struggling a bit as well, just technically, in terms of how much Dumfries was bombing on down the right and the ball was playing inside the fullback.
Now Depay, wide towards the left-hand side, and Simons quickly onto Gakpo, pulls it back, but Marish Marin is there. The clearance though from Ratso, and he finds Ake. Now Simons. 37 minutes played on TalkSport. Romania 0, the Netherlands 1. And at the moment, the Netherlands are firmly in control of this game. And having started the game so poorly, they wouldn't be flattered by a second goal before half-time.
No, since the goal, they've completely dominated this game. And you're right, Romania on the back foot.
Now Depay brings a long ball down inside the area under pressure from Dragusan, who did just enough, and Borka is able to hack the ball away, and Romania will make the change now. Bogdan Rakovican will be coming on to replace the stricken Vasile Mogos.
And what I like from a neutral point of view is that both teams are quite happy to go long at times. Yeah, okay, you know, you need a team to be pushed up a little bit to be able to do that. You think if teams are dropping off, then you should be able to just pass through the thirds. The fact that both these defences are pushed up a bit, it makes an exciting game, because they're quite happy to go long. It was good defending in the end. Remember, Depay was almost in.
Well, the Romanians are down to their third choice left back. Hey, but at least they've got three left backs to pick from.
I was going to say, we know how important that position is, Nige.
Here is Depay on this near side, spilling away from Rakovican, his first involvement. Depay pings it across the penalty area. It's cleared as far as Reinders. Reinders looks to check onto his right foot, but he finds Simons. Simons, though, has two yellow shirts around him, but he's beyond Ratsu, and he tries to Robona the ball into the penalty area. Manages to execute that, but Stanchu heads it behind for a corner.
Yeah, but don't. I know it all looks flash and looks great, but you actually haven't really put in a great cross there. Initial great skill from Memphis Depay, but once Simons gets to the byline,
he's done that for clicks, hasn't he?
He's done it for clicks, but he's not beating the first man. You know, and if you look up and you put the right ball in, you're 2-0. You're in absolute control of the game. Stop trying to be flash. Be effective.
Simons will now take the corner. I don't think he'll be trying to Robona this. Simons' delivery is high towards Depay, fisted clear by Ratsu, who'd been crowded out there by one or two Dutch players, but no free kick given. And Dumfries will go all the way back to Verbruggen, who has had very little to do since the goal scored by Cody Gakpo after 20 minutes. Now Ake, forward down the left, just slips momentarily. Down the line for Simons. It's only Simons again. Always looks to pull off a trick, but he has had an end product at club level in Germany this season. Reinders swings a good ball wide to this near side. Dumfries able to bring the ball down on his chest. And coming back to make the challenge is Borka to support Rakovican, who has only just come on, and he's had a torrid time. Nicely done by the Dutch again, as Bergwijn plays it wide to this near side. The cross is dug out by Dumfries, cleared as far as Schouten. Depay beaten to it by Dragosan in the air. Van Dijk was then caught by Dragus. Van Dijk is down, but play continues. Here is Simons looking to cut square with the penalty area. Finds the fair head Schouten. On again towards Bergwijn. Dumfries back towards Bergwijn again. Schouten looking to make that burst into the penalty area, but he's held up by the Romanians. But here is Depay on the half turn, tries to find Dumfries, and it's cut out by Rakovic-San, and it will be a throw-in for the Dutch. And it seems already that Rakovic-San has gone into the middle and Borka has come wide to this near side.
Yeah, good defending as well. He's left Depay, realised where the danger was once Depay laid it off. They're really effective down this right-hand side. Nathan Ake, not your natural bombing on left back, but Dumfries certainly is.
Dumfries coming forward again now, and he's won another corner number 9, number 10 I should say, for the Dutch in this first half.
And do you know what, now 1-0 for Romania is a good result at half time.
Absolutely.
Don't concede the goal just before the break, because if you do, I can't see them coming back so much on the front foot. Been very impressed with the Dutch since they've scored that goal. And they obviously want to try and go in at the break 2-0. Massive 4, 5, 6 minutes to come.
42 minutes played on TalkSport. Romania 0, the Netherlands 1. Felix Vaya once again is sorting one or two things out inside the penalty area. Depay pings in the corner. I think he was going for goal there. He hit that with the outside of his right foot from the right, and he swings it straight over the top.
Well, now I think they're almost trying to find it. Well, they're finding it a bit too easy, and they're being complacent, and they have to be careful. If they keep the foot on the gas, there's every chance they can make this 2-0, and then for me it's almost game over. While it's 1-0 and they're being a little bit cocky, little Rabonas here outside of the right foot from a corner. You're not going to score in that way, and they haven't on either of those situations. It's exactly what Romania want.
And it will also wind up the opposition unnecessarily.
Well, yes. I mean, the Netherlands are very much on the front foot. They're the better side. I'm trying not to use Lionel Messi as an example, because obviously he's a gift from God. I don't ever remember him doing a Rabona. It's all about being effective.
Not at 1-0 anyway.
I covered Barcelona and Spanish football for 4 years. I covered every single Barcelona game. I don't remember him doing it once. Scored quite a few goals and made quite a few assists, but he never did that. Be effective, not flash.
Rakovic-San on this near side. Oh, he loses out to Dumfries as he tries to allow the ball to shepherd behind. It comes back to Xavi Simons. His right foot shot is dragged wide. Well, we saw the Rabona from him before, but it took an age there to get the ball out of his feet there, Xavi Simons, and in the end, the shot was off target.
Yeah, but it's poor defending, just trying to allow the ball to go out. And Denzel Dumfries has been brilliant in this first half. He really has. He's won the ball back. He's played to Xavi Simons, who's got the ball, and I've got a little bit of sympathy for him, because his first touch is not perfect. He's trying to get the ball down, and to be fair to the Romanian defence, they've got to him close. First of all, it's Ragosan, and then it's Marian, and by the time those two have got in there, never really got the ball under control.
And we're into the final minute of the first half, and Eduard Ordinescu looks like a coach who wants to hear that whistle sooner rather than later, because Romania have been given a real chasing here in the last 25 minutes or so. The Dutch have had 8 attempts on goal and the Romanians 3. And the Dutch possession now is heading towards 70%.
Yeah, the problem for Romania is that even when they were on top, they weren't really testing Verbruggen. You know, a shot just over and nearly put him under pressure when he was passing out from the back, but he hadn't really had I can't think of a shot to save, even when they were on top. Now even more so, they're on the back foot. Can't even get close to him.
Van Dijk swings a ball wide to the far side for Ake. And now it's been won back inside the Netherlands half. We're into a minimum of 3 more minutes, but Marius Marin is penalised for the challenge on Simons, and it will be an opportunity for the Netherlands to maybe build one more attack before half-time. And the Romanian supporters, who were in great voice the first 15 minutes or so, now look rather pensive because their team is still in the game, but it's been a difficult watch for them.
Yes, it has. It's all changed in that goal, really, wasn't it? You were absolutely spot on saying it was against the run of play. Really came from nowhere. Since then, you see the body language of the Dutch just lift up, chest out. Romanian shoulders just drop a little.
Dreadful ball forward here from Van Dijk, straight to Hagi. Here is Dragus now for Romania inside the penalty area. He cuts in field, goes a long way, fires in the shot, it's straight up for Bruggen. But we talked about the complacency, and that was a mistake from Virgil van Dijk, which gave the Romanians the opportunity.
Yeah, it was a mistake, and it is down to complacency. All too easy for the Dutch. And they're certainly capable of playing that way. But Dragus, when he had that one-on-one situation, again, I know the defender wanted him down the left-hand side, but go there, because you would have had a one-on-one situation with the keeper. Instead of coming inside, all the players coming across to defend, it was a poor shot in the end, very weak shot, off balance.
Rakovica. There's a long ball forward. Ratsu, the fullback, is one of the furthest players forward. Now a backheader from the Dutch almost allows him in, where we saw him have a great opportunity against Belgium to equalise, and once again the blue-head right back was heavily advanced.
I'll tell you what, in the first half, the fullbacks especially, up against Lukebakio and Doku, were very much under pressure. Second half, the two wingers were very quiet, so I would expect Romania to come out strong in the second half. They've shown they have the character. The question is, can they get hold of the ball? Not able to do that at the moment.
Van Dijk, a high ball forward again, looking for the goal scorer Gakpo, but it's cleared away, and Romania will try and build on the far side. Ratsu does well to keep the ball in play, jabs it down the line for Razvan Marin, and now Mann, who's got time to turn and swing a high ball wide to this near side. Hagi brings it down on his chest. He can now advance towards the edge of the penalty area. He pulls in a decent looking cross, and in the end Van Dijk has to concede Romania's first corner.
Yeah, great crossfield ball, and it comes to Hagi. Just wanting to get in the box and have a go at his defender, take Dumfries the other way. He wasn't able to do that, and the ball was a little bit behind the Romanian forwards, but what a moment this could be right on half-time.
Final action of the first half. Hagi will take the corner for Romania. He delivers an outswinger high into the box, and Van Dijk is there to head the ball out straight back towards Hagi. He curls in a good-looking cross towards the far post. There's a Romanian player down, clutching their face, and Bergwijn will jab it off Borka. It's out of play. But Romania finishing the first half in decent fashion as the half-time whistle goes. Well, one or two Romanians holding their heads there because they know they had a really good chance to equalise, and that came after a period of almost total Dutch domination, following the goal from Cody Gakpo after 20 minutes, driving in, catching out Florinitsa at the near post, and really the Dutch should have built on that. We saw some brilliant defending from Radu Dragusan to prevent Depay tapping in to make it 2-0. The Dutch have had so many other opportunities, but at half-time in Munich, this round of 16 tie is still in the balance. It is Romania 0, the Netherlands 1. Thanks, Ollie. Confirmation of that change. Donald Marlon, who scored an own goal in the previous game against Austria, is replacing Steven Bergwijn, who did have a heavy challenge during the first half as well, which left him limping around, so maybe that's something to do with it. So Marlon will come on and play to the right of the attacking three, and he's maybe a more authentic centre forward than Memphis Depay, who will remain in the centre. Romania attacking right at the start of the second half. The ball almost ricochets through towards Ratsu on this near side, but it's cleared away by Reinders, and Romania have an attacking throw-in right at the start of the second half. Here is Mann, cutting in field from the right-hand side, swings the high cross in beyond Hagi, and it's claimed by Verbruggen. So, a reminder of the two teams again. Romania, Nitsa in goal, Ratsu, Dragusan, Borka and Rakovica, who came on for the injured Mogosh in the first half. Marius Marin, Razvan Marin and Stanchu in midfield. Hadji, Mann and Dragus in attack. The Dutch team has now Verbruggen in goal, Dumfries, De Vrij, Van Dijk and Ake, Schouten, Simons and Reinders, and Marlon, Depay and Gakpo are their forward line. There's De Vrij with a heavy first touch, has to play a back pass towards Verbruggen, and Van Dijk helps him out, finds De Vrij by the corner flag. It's flicked away by Schouten, quickly won back by the Romanians. It was played forward by Hadji but overhit, and it's gone behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, Marlon will certainly want to try and make an impact. Quite the impact he made, as you alluded to there, conceding the own goal, the first goal in the Austria game. There's no doubt about it. He's a very good player, very good winger. Well for Dortmund. He was a joint highest scorer in all competitions with Nicholas Füllkrug. They'll certainly want to make an impact in the right way this time around.
Well, there's a clash between Stanchu and De Vrij on the far side. And it did seem that Stanchu was the aggressor, but Felix Valle, the referee, has given the free kick to Romania. And looking at the replay, we can see why, because De Vrij rather kicked through the body of Stanchu as he came in to make a challenge.
Yeah, Stanchu gets there first, and because he does, the contact then comes from De Vrij. And this is a dangerous situation at an important time, almost immediately after half-time, and if Romania can get it back to 1-1, boy, this stadium will go absolutely mad. Stanchu
and Hadji over the free kick. Stanchu whips it in towards the near post. Verbruggen comes and punches away without a huge amount of conviction, and it will be a throw-in on this near side.
That's a great ball in, it really is. Played with whip and pace, just a little bit too high, as you can see, for Borka. Verbruggen comes out and he's thinking, I do hope I've judged this well. He did in the end, but it's a great ball in.
The Dutch with 2/3 of the ball in the first half, 8 attempts on goal, only 2 on target though, and 10 corners. And Romania had a good start to the game, the opening 15 minutes or so, but they were rocked back by the manner of the goal from Cody Gakpo, catching out Florin Nitsa at the near post. And they really should have added to their lead late in the first half, as Reinders now is challenged by Hadji and fouled by him, and it will be a free kick for the Netherlands, wearing all blue with orange trim, and they are defending the goal away to our right, which has the bulk and certainly the most voluble number of their supporters behind it. And Romania wearing all bright yellow, their national colours with blue trim.
It is brilliant, isn't it, in terms of the colours that we see in this stadium. Look to one side, that bright orange, to another, just a bright yellow. Certainly feel happy, don't you?
Very citrusy feel
Absolutely.
to the Allianz Arena for this game, as the Dutch take a chance again, shouting with a crossfield ball back towards Van Dijk on the edge of the penalty area. Now Reinders driving forward into space, right down the centre, plays into Paul, but Reinders goes alone, right-footed shot is blocked, it comes back out towards Marlon. There are appeals for a handball against the Romanian player who blocked that, but that would have been some goal from Reinders had that found the back of the net. Now Xavi Simons coming forward now. He's got support from Gakpo. Gakpo lifts it high towards the far post, and Marlon was leaping, and he heads the ball wide in the end, and there was a check, I think, on a potential handball following the block on the shot from Reinders, and it was blocked inside the penalty area by Rakovica, and he dived in, but he did rather lead with his elbow.
Well, it's just as well his arm wasn't any further out, because it definitely hit his arm, and as he's sort of diving to the side, not goalkeeper-like, but he certainly fell down almost goalkeeper-like. Fortunately for him, he kept his arms reasonably close to his chest, because that didn't hit his chest, it hit his arm, but it wasn't in an unnatural position. You could see he was trying to keep it close to his chest, and therefore he's got away with it.
Headed away on the far side by De Vrij. But here is Hadji for Romania, flicked in field, and a shove from Van Dijk on Dragus, and a free kick for Romania, who have started the second half in decent fashion after being overwhelmed at times during the first.
Yeah, and Dragos just needs to play further up. I know it's frustrating, and again, we've talked about Harry Kane in that situation when you're not seeing much of the ball. You still, when you do get the ball back, you need to give the midfielders and the defenders that option that you are up there.
Stanchu over the free kick again, but before he can take it, Felix Weyer, the German referee, just sorting one or two things out. It's De Vrij and Rakovitsan who are grappling on the edge of the penalty area. Now Stanchu whips it in high towards the far post, not cleared by Ake. It drops to Depay, who just hoofs it straight up in the air. It'll drop into the path of Dragos, who does well to flick it wide to Dennis Mann. And now Ratsu finding Marius Marin. Dragosan with the ball forward, but into Dutch traffic, and Schouten comes away with it. And here is Depay on this near side, who just jumps it off Ratsu, and it will be a Dutch throw-in. 51 minutes played on TalkSport in the round of 16 at UEFA Euro 2024. The winners meet Austria or Turkey in Berlin on Saturday night, and we have that game coming up live on TalkSport from Leipzig with Hugh Wozencroft and the team at the end of this one. Now De Vrij, a title winner in Italy this season with Inter, along with his teammate on the other side of the field, Denzel Dumfries. And De Vrij again, and the Dutch just trying to take the sting out of the game, which they've done at times when the Romanians have been able to build up some momentum. Reinders again. And now Yuri Schouten, one of the home base players in the Dutch side. They have 6 in the squad, 2 from each of the big 3, Ajax, Feyenoord and PSV, who won the league in record-breaking fashion this year. And Schouten was the main reason for that.
Romania just really got the mid-block, and the Dutch are saying, OK, well, we'll just keep it around here then. We're not going to press, we don't need to give the ball away, we're not going to force it, we'll just keep on coming back. This is really, the start of the second half is how I thought the first half would be.
Now De Vrij coming forward, fighting Dumfries down the right, low ball in, Milan shots blocked, it comes to Depay, ricochets inside the penalty area and deep inside the 6-yard box. It's eventually swooped on by Nitsa, but it was real pinball there, right on the Romanian goal line, but they escape.
Well, again, after all the pass, they picked the right moment. Again, Dumfries down the right-hand side. Marlin comes in, wasn't able to get a good touch. It comes off Ragosin, not the best of touch from Depay. But you have to say, it's a great challenge from Ratsu. He leaves his man, he comes in cross, and he stops Depay, making it 2-0. Brilliant challenge.
I think it was Rakovitsan who cleared the ball off the line in the end, in the midst of all that. It then ricocheted back off Dragosan, back towards the goal, before Nitsa was able to eventually cling on.
Well, it was pinball stuff, of that, there's no doubt, but Ratsu coming across just took the sting off Depay's shot.
Now Marlin coming forward now, on the far side, the Dutch right. Yet another change in their right wing position. There's been a revolving door on that side of the field for Ronald Koeman during the tournament. Ake. His support from Xavi Simons, but goes back in field to Reinders, who was quickly closed down by Dragos. And here is Reinders again. Lofts it high and wide towards this near side, and Xavi Simons, Gakpo in support. Pulled back though towards Ake. And now Gakpo again. Curls it high towards the far post. Dumfries going down under the challenge of Hadji, and the goal kick's being given.
Dumfries thinks he should have had a penalty. He's got to be stronger there. I mean, Gakpo's in allowed to cross the ball. He's actually overplayed it, really. It's not the best of crosses.
Well, there was a tug on the arm there from Hadji, but the question is, would Dumfries have got anywhere near the ball anyway?
Well, he's certainly got the tug. He's just made the most of it, hasn't he? Or made more of it than he needed to. Definitely a tug, and Hadji, I think if VAR have a look at that, and having a light touch, obviously, I don't think, well, they won't call that a penalty. Certainly Hadji should not be doing that, but Dumfries went down, and he shouldn't have gone down. It wasn't that much of a touch.
55 minutes played on TalkSport. Romania 0, the Netherlands 1. Don't forget, Saturday 5 o'clock, England against Switzerland with the team in Dusseldorf, and there'll be a full build-up all day on the TalkSport network, on the radio and online, and also on the social media feeds as well. Now Reinders looks to find Gakpo to the left, but the crossfield ball is overhit straight out of play, and a throw in for Romania.
Yeah, but what we are seeing now is Romania sometimes trying to force the ball, and then the Dutch being able to hit Romania on the counter-attack, and that's something they'll look to do and pick them off, get that second goal, which I think will kill the game.
Cut out by Van Dijk, midway inside the Romanian half. Reinders now with the shot, and it's dragged wide, left-footed. You're listening to Euro Game Day live on TalkSport, presented by Carling, the UK's #1 lager, 18 plus. Please drink responsibly. And Charlie Reinders, a player who has got forward well so far in the second half.
Yeah, he's done well, hasn't he? He's finding a lot more space.
Another Italian-based player in the Netherlands midfield. Now Mann coming forward for Romania. Comes in field again, but he runs into Schouten. And it's cleared away for Xavi Simons to try and counter-attack, but he just pirouettes and then plays an excellent crossfield ball to pick out Donald Marlon. Marlon now can burst into the penalty area on the right. The cross in towards the near post was deflected behind by Rakovica, and it will be a corner, but it could have been so much worse for Romania.
Yeah, again, just like a couple of minutes ago, I think the counter-attack for the Dutch is very much on. And Memphis Depay, he just holds off wanting the cutback. And actually, Rakovica, and it's a really important touch because Cody Gakpo was free and he would have been inside the 6-yard box with a one-touch finish.
Ronald Koeman showing his frustration as another opportunity, another cross in the wide area, doesn't find a blue shirt. The cross in from the corner kick is met by Van Dijk with a header, it's off the post and behind for a goal kick, but Virgil van Dijk, the Liverpool captain, nearly sealed it there.
And we've seen him do that once or twice before for Liverpool. The corner coming in, he gets there, and it's actually a free header. Dragosan is nowhere near him, so he's got to be hitting the target. If he hits the target, there's every chance that goes in. He knows that's a wonderful opportunity. Free header, 7 yards out. In a way unlucky, heads it down, hits the post but goes out, but could easily have been 2-0.
There must be 4 or 5 yellow and blue flares that have been let off by the Romanian supporters behind that goal, which Van Dijk was attacking there. And plenty of smoke billowing out of the Romanian end at the moment. Gakpo brings it forward now, cuts it square towards Depay, back towards Gakpo, who went for goal at the near post again, but this time Nitsa was equal to it.
Yeah, again, looking dangerous, aren't they? And a good little 1-2 between those two players. Keeper not allowing that on the inside post.
But it's still only 1-0. 59 minutes played. Dragus coming forward now for Romania. Wide on the left-hand side. Hadji in field. It's clipped on towards Dragus again, and now Razvan Marin with the shot, but in the end the effort from Dragus was blocked, and it will be a throw-in for Romania on this near side.
And it's becoming end-to-end stuff now, isn't it? Really good play from Dragus and clever defending from Nathan Ake, who closed his legs. How often do we see the shot go through a defender's legs and the keeper unsighted?
And now Dennis Mann looking to attack down the Romanian right. Ake just nips in, but at the expense of a Romanian corner. An hour played, and you get the feeling that this round of 16 tie on TalkSport is now approaching the key phase. If the Dutch get a second in this end-to-end spell, it's all over. But Romania pushing. Hadji with a ball into the penalty area, and at the near post, Dumfries has to stoop and almost fire the ball behind for a corner.
It's exactly what he does. It's a horrible ball to defend because it's too high to kick it away, it's too low to head it away. Could easily have come off his thigh and tested Verbruggen.
Razvan Marin with the corner kick, high to the far post, met by Van Dijk. Simons will chase, but Dennis Mann will allow that ball to drift out of play in front of the two technical areas, and it will be a throw-in for Romania. Austria against Turkey, live from Leipzig on TalkSport, coming up from 7 o'clock, providing this game finishes in 90 minutes, and at the moment we can't say that for certain, with the Dutch only leading 1-0. Dragus chasing on the far side, but De Vrij gets there first to clear. But Romania enjoying another good spell in the game here. And they have a throw-in on the far side. And Borka maybe had the opportunity to hurl it long, instead tries to whiz it into the area, but it's blocked by Schouten. But Hadji does well to win it back from Marlon. The back heel from Borka, back towards Hadji again, but he's heading back towards the halfway line, and in the end Borka will find Rakovica. With plenty of yellow shirts forward in this attack. Hadji, crossfield ball wide to this near side, a good ball as well. Chested down by Dennis Mann, slipped down the channel looking for Atsu, but just a touch on that from Ake. And now Gakpo scything through the challenges, breaks over the halfway line here for the Netherlands. 4 forward in this attack. Gakpo goes alone. It's a brilliant save by Nitsa, keeping his team in the European Championships there. Gakpo must have carried that 60 yards, and he let fly from 20 yards, and it's a brilliant stop from the Romanian goalkeeper.
Yeah, brilliant run, brilliant save. The game is still on for Romania. If that had gone in, I don't see them coming back from that, but such a powerful run from Gakpo. First of all, good defending, then run, looking up. And he thought, I'm 20 yards out, I might as well have a shot. Good strike, great save.
Corner number 12 for the Netherlands. Depay into that near post, where it's headed away by Dragus. Wide on the right-hand side, Schouten, first time cross back in, almost drops for Marlon, and it does drop inside the penalty area for Gakpo, and Gakpo gets the second. And the Dutch are on their way to the quarter-finals, and this is turning into Cody Gakpo's Euros. It's his 4th goal for the Netherlands, and once again, at a time when they seem to be vulnerable, they have struck decisively, and it's Romania 0, the Netherlands 2.
Well, there's still a little bit of, we're not quite sure if this is offside or not. The corner comes in, it's headed out. Schouten puts it in first time.
Oh, he's offside.
He's definitely offside. I think he kind of knew it as well, didn't he?
I think we all knew it.
Yeah.
We were rather going through the motions there, weren't we?
No, absolutely. We had to see, and Dragusin, to be fair to him, he's not tried to really get around the other side or make that last-ditch tackle, because I think he felt that Gakpo was offside, and we're still waiting. I'm not quite sure why. It's quite clear he was offside.
I suspect they're just checking to see if that touch was definitely off Marlon.
Yeah, well, the angle that we saw, maybe we can't quite 100% guarantee that, but it certainly looked like it did. We need to look at it from another angle.
Bastian Dankert is the VAR official, and it's offside, and so Romania breathe again.
Yeah, look, you can say great defending from Dragusin and Romania, but it wasn't really, just got that half a yard. Well, he was offside of that, there's no doubt in the end.
Stanciu now driving forward for the Romanians, a high lofted ball towards the far post, and Dennis Mann won't keep that in play, and it's a goal kick, and it's still 1-0 to the Dutch here. 64 minutes played. You're listening to Euro Game Day live on TalkSport, presented by Burger King. Bring home the ultimate food satisfaction. Get your favourites delivered now.
The atmosphere is amazing, isn't it? Romanians know they're still in the game, and sometimes when a goal was disallowed, you feel like there's a massive boost for your side, even though you thought just a minute earlier you conceded.
Now Marlon, all the way back towards Reinders. Bastian Dankert has been a very busy VAR official. He was in charge of the Slovakia-Belgium game when those 2 Lukaku goals were disallowed in the second half, and the manner of the second one was particularly controversial, as Simons plays it wide to this near side, and now Gakpo again looking to attack down the left, lays it back towards the edge of the area, but he only finds Stanciu now looking for Hadji, but straight to Marlon. Plenty of mistakes out there now. Marlon again finding Reinders. And the Dutch, despite all of the possession, all of the corners, all of the chances, still only lead 1-0. Simons back towards Ake again. And this has been the most convincing Dutch performance in the championship so far, but not totally convincing.
No, the first 20 minutes was all for Romania, but you're right, since then they have by far and away been the better side, and passing when they need to, going a little bit longer when they can. Very clever game management.
Now Ake. Quickly forward to Xavi Simons. Gakpo on the left. And it breaks down though. Simons has not quite been as effective in the second half as he was at times in the first. Dragos though tries to lay off a long ball under pressure from Van Dijk and only finds Gakpo.
Not able to get up the pitch, are they? Not able to keep the ball, because Dragos is playing on his own up there. When the ball does come to him, Van Dijk or De Vrij are able to get really tight.
And now a free kick will be given. Xavi Simons was caught on the edge of the penalty area, and a yellow card has been shown for Marius Marin. And should Romania go through, he would be suspended.
Well, he's made a few tackles today, hasn't he? And the other ones, at least he's got the ball or got very close to it. That one nowhere near it.
Marin, who plays in Serie B for Pisa, but has been a key player for Romania throughout the tournament. Will not be able to play in the quarter-finals should they get there. The winners of this meeting Austria or Turkey in Berlin on Saturday night. And that will follow the England game against Switzerland live on TalkSport from Dusseldorf at 5 o'clock. Depay with the free kick, goes low and wide, and Nietzsche was beaten there. It was a clever move from Depay. The wall jumped, there was no draft excluder, and Depay nearly took advantage.
Very clever free kick, exactly, no one lying down. So as the wall jumps, he's gone under. Keeper's beaten, but he's just whipped it a bit too much. He's kind of aimed it towards the post, but it's curled away. Very clever, he knows how close he was, shaking his head.
18 attempts on goal now for the Netherlands, but only 5 on target. And it's an interesting change made. A double change from Ronald Koeman. Ake and Schouten are the players who have gone off, and Mickey van der Ven and Joey Veerman have come on. Van der Ven, of course, an excellent signing for Spurs this season, and Joey Veerman was the player hooked after half an hour of the game against Austria, and he wasn't spared by his manager. He told him he wasn't good enough and said that in the press conference.
Well, he's got a chance now to help his country go through to the next round, and at least it's confidence from his manager after what he said then to help us do just that. I've not lost total faith in you. Slightly surprised Schoeten's come off though, because I thought he helped control this midfield.
Well, Veerman was alongside Schouten in midfield for PSV this season. And he gets the opportunity now, but in this Dutch team, only one of them can really play. There'll be a double change from the Romanians shortly as well. Alexandru Cacaldo will be coming on along with Valentin Mahalia. But the Dutch have had so much of the ball, so many opportunities, but with 20 minutes to play, it is still only 1-0.
Yeah, goal disallowed, a really good save, a couple of really good clearances and blocks. Romania in this game, got to somehow try and find a way to get first of all the ball down the other end, and then to actually try and get the shot on target.
They've had their moments, but really Bart Verbruggen's not had a shot to save. Not a difficult one anyway. Now man for Romania down the right, infield towards Ratsu. Ratsu will use the support again of man. It's a good ball into the penalty area, and it was taken down by Stanciu, but just unable to get the shot in, and it's cleared downfield. Depay was pulling back the Romanian defender as he went through. He then stumbled. Depay went clean through, but the free kick's been given.
Now, do you know what? Down the other end, it was a great ball by man, and you'd expect your captain, influential leader, to bring the ball down a lot better than that. First touch was poor, allowed Dumfries to get close to him.
Triple change for Romania. Hagi is the first player off, along with Dragus and Marius Mari, who has just been booked. Denis Alabek, who plays his club football in Qatar, comes on. He will go up front. And in midfield, Valentin Mahailia and also Alexandru Cicaldo. And Cicaldo, another one of those Hagi Academy players who has been really impressed for this team over the last couple of years. Mahailia scored 3 times in qualification, but they need a goal here to keep themselves alive, and Alabek more of an authentic bustling centre forward, and there was a ball played forward towards him there, balding and bearded, and it's gathered by Verbruggen.
I think that's a good description, a bustling centre forward. He looks like he's ready for a battle.
Well, 18 minutes to play. There's not long here for Romania to keep themselves in the competition. Marlon just beaten to it by Borka, and he's back again with Nitsa, who made that outstanding stop to keep out Gakpo. But here is Gakpo now inside the penalty, flick back to Simmons, who just delayed when he had the opportunity to hit it, but the Dutch have won it back. Veerman inside the penalty area, threads a shot right across the face of goal and wide.
Well, first of all, Jari Simons, have a shot on your left foot. What are you doing, having to come inside and allowing the defender to come back? Well, fair play to Veerman. He then won the ball back there. The ball was played back out to him. He's on his right foot. It's quite wide, and he side-footed it towards the far post, but with no kind of whip or spin on it. Not even a sort of an inside pass. It was just a straight one, and therefore it just went straight and the other side of the post.
Rakovic-san, Hugh Rosencroft, Joe Shannon and Chris Owelamo will be talking you through Austria against Turkey from Leipzig, the final game in the round of 16. One of those will play one of these in Berlin on Saturday night, and at the moment the Netherlands are inching their way through. But do they look like potential winners? We'll have to say no, I think.
I have to say, just on what you were saying, I think one of those playing one of these, I think whoever they are, it's going to be a good quarter-final.
Absolutely, yes.
But no, I don't see the Dutch winning this competition.
But at the moment, they are still there. And it may be a case of who rediscovers form first, unless we see someone like Switzerland or Austria surprise everybody.
Do you know what? I've no idea anymore. You know, you're expecting the big boys to play well, they're not. You know, Spain could easily, they're the best team so far in the competition, could easily lose to Germany.
Yes.
You know, France can grind their way through to the final. England can grind their way through to the final. Austria, best side really on our side of the draw now. And yet the Dutch could gain momentum after this game.
When they won Euro 88, they started poorly. They lost to the Soviet Union. Van Basten was on the bench, and then they brought him in to play England, and he scored a hat-trick.
I remember that game very well. We lost all 3, and the Dutch got their revenge, not just winning, but beating the USSR in the final again.
Yeah. In Munich, it's not quite been as spectacular today, but with 15 minutes to play, they are heading through to the quarter-finals. They could be meeting Austria again in Berlin. They played them last week and lost 3-2. Now Marlon. There's no doubt they've got some very talented players, but at times they do look like a team of individuals. Simmons again. Wide towards Gakpo. He's got the opportunity to come in field. He delivers the cross in, but it's headed away by Rakovic-san. Now Reinders. He's harried by Cicaldo, but he's managed to find Dumfries. Dumfries with the cross in, and the header from Depay, doesn't find the target. Then there's some wrestling between Gakpo and Ratsu, and it will be a free kick deep inside the Romanian penalty area.
Oh, but it's brilliant play down the right, and again Dumfries finding just a little bit of space, dinking it to the far post. Dragosan gets a wonderful touch because Depay gets up well. It's one of those where the keeper can't come out and yet is inside the 6-yard box. So if Depay was able to get any kind of proper connection on it, and this would have no chance. Good defending. Hanging on in here, aren't they?
Well, they're still alive, Romania, with 14 minutes to play. 1-0 the Netherlands lead here on TalkSport, the only radio station to bring you every single game from UEFA Euro 2024. And we have wall-to-wall coverage of the Olympics from Paris starting later this month. Now Alabek chasing on the far side, but it's a throw-in to the Netherlands. And they have a look at the side at the moment, the Dutch, just looking to manage this game through.
Yeah, they've done it really well since the goal. The second half as well. And look, even if it ends up 1-0, this is a game I've really enjoyed. It's been end-to-end, there's been chances. I don't want to say I've been bored with any game because it's fascinating. I think people realise that the technical ability and the tactical side of things that goes into these really high elite level games. But they've certainly not been as exciting as this one, even if it does end up being just a 1-0.
Well, Dumfries has been booked while Scott was talking for time wasting over a throw-in. Now De Vrij, clip forward for Dumfries. Marlon does well to hold it up and backheel it into the path of the right back, who was a contender for player of the match. But the energy he has shown down the right-hand side. We'll find out about Scott's king performance at the end of the game as Stanciu comes forward now, looks to thread it wide to Alabek, who just had to hold his run to stay onside, and as a result the pass never found him.
Yeah, he made his run, and then once it didn't come, he's having to hold, and then the ball was forced. Again, that's the good side of a high line, whereas if it's just dinked in behind and the timing of the run is working with the pass, very difficult to defend against.
Simons coming forward now, wide towards Depay, left-hand side of the penalty area, goes for the curler right-footed, it's blocked, oh goodness me, a clearance there from Marin, hit Xavi Simons and almost rebounded straight back into the net, but it's inches wide.
Again, it's Simons just getting in to the box, and it comes to him, or close to him. Marin gets there first, got lucky there, didn't he?
11 and a half minutes to play. Romania 0, the Netherlands 1. The quarter-final lineup at the moment. On Friday, Spain against Germany, Portugal against France. Both those games live on TalkSport. England against Switzerland, live from Dusseldorf, 5 o'clock on Saturday. It is going to be some end to the week. If you want to follow all of the general election coverage on Thursday evening, then Times Radio and Talk Radio as well, to follow who's in and who's out, and then we'll tell you who's in and who's out at the Euros on Friday and Saturday. Stanciu for Romania, has to go back to the halfway line, and Rakovica, he clips it wide to this near side, and Man finding Ratsu again, the right back, playing as a number 10 at the moment. It's wide towards Marin, and the cross is delivered in from Borka, but headed clear by De Vrij, and now Marlon steps away from the challenge of Borka, and the Dutch have got 3 forward in this attack. Marlon goes to his right-hand side, and Gakpo with a shot deflected, was looped high over the top for a corner kick.
Do you know what? It's a wonderful run with pace and power, but he's gone the wrong way. He's got to go left rather than right. Xavi Simons would have been free. He even would have been able to take a touch and go at the goalkeeper. The pass wasn't a great one. Gakpo's had to wait for it. He's taken that touch, and in the end the defenders have been able to get back. Good deflection in the end.
It was the heel of Rakovica which sent the ball spiralling over the top. 10 minutes to play. And Romania here throwing more and more bodies forward, so the gaps are appearing. Depay with the corner kick, Headed away by Dragosan at the near post. Alibek will try and win it back, and he's done so. And now the opportunity for a break, but Alibek has been pulled back for a high boot there. Mahalia was the player who was charging forward. Stanciu has been booked for dissent. And Dumfries was the player involved for the Netherlands. That's not a high boot at all.
It's not high, and he's not touched him. I mean, actually, it doesn't really matter whether you touch him or not. A high boot is a high boot, but it's not. Dumfries has come into it, and then he's gone down as
if he has. He's conned the referee there.
Absolutely conned. Don't blame Stanciu at all. You know, you're 1-0 down, you're under pressure, you're still in the game. There's 9 minutes to go plus injury time. You've got a chance of a counter-attack, and the referee has absolutely bought one there.
Well, Stanciu was booked for his dissent. And there's a wry smile on the face of Edward Ordinescu, the coach, because that was a chance, because Chicaldo was away.
Absolutely, and it's clever play from Dumfries. There's no way of foul.
Dragosan has now won it from Xavi Simons. And Depay will just hold it up and invite the challenge, which comes in from Chicaldo. And it will be a throw-in for the Dutch, and Wout Weghorst will be coming on. 3 of his 4 goals in major tournaments have come off the bench, and he could be the man to maybe finish things off here.
Well, it's a debate, isn't there, in the Netherlands about who should start.
Now Gakpo, Dragosan does just enough, or does he? No, he doesn't, and it's turned in by Donald Mylan. And the Dutch have finally sealed it, and they are heading through to the quarter-finals. Of all players, Radu Dragosan with the mistake. He's had an immaculate tournament, but he was at fault there. And in the end, Marlon was the player to poke the ball in and send the Netherlands to Berlin in the quarter-finals. 7 minutes to play. Romania 0, the Netherlands 2.
Well, if you're going to concede a second goal, you don't concede it like that. It's played down the left. He's talking about Memphis Depay, who just plays it on. Cody Gakpo, really good play. Dragosan, he thinks he's done enough and the ball's going to go out. It doesn't. And look, I don't need to tell him, if you're not quite sure if it's going to go out, then get your body between the man and the ball. He hasn't done that. Gakpo hasn't given up at all. It's on the line, he's just poked it and then poked it again. This time back to Marlon, is in the right place. Again, you can talk about Rakovic-san not being aware, not thinking, what if Gakpo gets the better of my central partner, defensive partner. He does, he gets there first, and he won't score a simpler goal than that. And you just feel that's it now. I don't see how Romania can come back with just 6 minutes remaining.
2-0. The first goal, we can look at the goalkeeper. The second goal, we can look at Dragosan. And on 1 or 2 occasions, we've seen Romanians give things up inside the penalty area. It nearly cost them in the first half, and it did that.
Do you know what? You're right, Nigel. You know, they've actually been under pressure for a lot of this game, but they've given it their all. If you think about the goals they've conceded, not good enough.
Now Marlon with a cross high into the penalty area. Depay brings it down at the far post. Depay comes in field, tries to curl it right-footed, but it's over the angle, and it's a goal kick with 5.5 minutes to play, and the Netherlands on their way through.
I say not good enough. It's just they will be so disappointed in the manner of the goals that they have conceded. Yes, they've been on the back foot, on the front foot first 20 minutes, were the better side. Since then, very much on the back foot, but they've stayed in the game. They never gave up. They've got so much character, this Romanian side. And that's just a killer goal.
Wout Weghorst, still at Burnley, has come on to replace Cody Gakpo. Of course, he's been on loan at Besiktas, Manchester United and Hoffenheim over the last 2 years. Dragosan robs Veerman on the edge of the penalty area, but Romania will look at the incident a minute before that goal, when Alibek won it and Mahalia was on his way clean through, and play was brought back for a high boot by Alibek, and it was poor refereeing, we have to say, from Felix Vaya. And it may have cost Romania dear. We don't know if he'd have scored, but the opportunity was there.
Yeah, and look, I think Van Dijk may well have got back, so it would have been, had to take him on, which is not the easiest thing to do. But there's no doubt about it that it was a wrong decision, it was a poor decision. Suddenly 2-0, very difficult.
Dumfries coming forward now down the right-hand side. He's a player who has really enhanced his reputation, coming back into the side today for Lucharel Hatroida. And now Veerman. 2-0. Looks comfortable. It has been for long spells, but Romania have had one or two moments, but on the whole they've not made the most of spells in the game when they've been on top. Here is Mahalia.
I think if you look at the stats as well, 63% possession, 23 goal attempts to 5 shots on target to 1. I think if we're being brutally honest and analytical, I think this probably is a 2-0 game. But just the way Romania have worked so hard and never given up and showed the passion for their country, and the manner especially of that second goal, just so disappointing.
Well, 3 goals in 7 games now for Marlon, after only 5 in his opening 28 for the Dutch. And as Scott was saying, he had a very good end to the season for Dortmund. Came off the bench in the Champions League final at Wembley against Real Madrid. And he'll be heading back to Berlin, where he scored an own goal in his previous visit last Tuesday.
I was just about to say, he scored at the right end this time around. And you do feel the Dutch can relax now. Obviously, anything can happen in the last few minutes, and 2-1, suddenly it's game on, but the game management of the Dutch, especially in the second half, even since the first goal in 20 minutes, I think it has been very good indeed. And whoever they play, look, if Austria play to how they've been playing in the group stages, then that's going to be some game. And if Turkey are able to beat this Austrian side who have been so good in the group stages, that's going to be a great game. Mouth-watering quarter-final.
Stanchu is replaced by Denis Oladu for Romania for the closing 2 minutes or so. And if England beat Switzerland, and on the basis of Sunday it's a big if, and on Saturday as well, the way Switzerland played against Italy, they would meet one of the Netherlands, Austria or Turkey in the semi-finals. As Romania come forward here into the 89th minute. It's clipped in towards Oladu, who has just come on, but it's overhit and it's behind for a goal kick, and Romania look a beaten side.
Yeah, they do. It is a shame. You almost sort of would have wanted a bit of brilliance from the Dutch, because they have played really well, and they're certainly capable of that brilliance, but just Dragosan, the way he's allowed, he's been brilliant in this tournament. And the way he allowed Gakpo just to come on and keep the ball in. It's a simple goal in the end, all because of the work of Gakpo. I just feel the Dutch can breathe.
Now an opportunity again for Weghorst to add to his tally in a major tournament. It was a good ball in from Van de Ven on this near side on the overlap, and Gakpo was inches away from converting. Now Alabek has been fouled by Vim, and it will be a free kick for the Romanians, and we are into the 90th minute. There will be a minimum of 4 minutes added time. Alabek plays it square to Marin. Weghorst is back to make the challenge, and he's won the ball cleanly, but Borka will play the ball back, and play's been halted because we have a pitch invader inside Florinitsa's penalty area, so the stewards converge on him and we'll have to restart. And we're yet to see the best of the Netherlands, you feel, but they are still in the tournament.
I think they've been good this evening, I really do. On the back foot in the first 20 minutes, made sure they didn't concede. I think since then they've been very good. You can argue in terms of where Romania are in the FIFA rankings, that this is how it should have panned out. But I think they've been good on the ball, I think they've defended well when they've needed to. I think they've looked dangerous. I still don't think they're going to go to the final, but then I didn't think France would finish second. I think Portugal would struggle in the round of 16. I don't think we'd struggle in the round of 16. Who knows anymore?
Well, it is Portugal against France in the quarterfinals on Friday, after Germany against Spain, the host nation against the best team we've seen so far. Alabak has been fouled by Van Dijk on the halfway line, and it will be a free kick for the Netherlands. Aladu tries to steal a few yards, but Memphis Depay is about to be replaced for the Netherlands, and Daley Blind comes on to win his 108th cap. Seemed to be winding down his career, but then helped Girona to qualify for the Champions League last season.
Absolutely. And he may have hit the ton in terms of caps, but he still wants to play for his country as well.
Free kick for Romania. Marin wide to the far side. Dumfries claims he was fouled as he grappled with Dragosan, but his backheader has gone behind for a corner.
Be a good arm wrestle that, wouldn't it, between those two?
Well, they've been grappling all day. Mahalia will take the corner kick. And Romania will have to retake, because once again there is plenty going on inside the penalty area. Rakovic-San and Dragosan are the main aerial targets here for Romania, but once again there are a couple of Dutch players looking to block off their runs. Dumfries and Blind. Felix Weyer just trying to keep an eye on that. With the backdrop of celebrating Dutch fans, Romania have a corner. It's high to the far post, knotted down, but some way outside the penalty area. Marin delivers it back in. Van Dijk rises to nod the ball clear. Chicalda beaten to it by Simons, and now Marlon on the counter-attack. Three blue shirts in support for the Netherlands. Marlon looks to go alone. He comes inside and he scores a splendid goal. Donald Marlon sends the Netherlands into the quarterfinals in some style. 2 goals from the bench, and they will head to Berlin in excellent spirits after the uncertainties in the group stage. They have been convincing in terms of the scoreline against Romania today, and the Netherlands Orange Army will depart Munich and march on Berlin. Romania 0, the Netherlands 3.
Yeah, and look, the Netherlands have been the better side by some, but you know, that's harsh, I think, that third goal on Romania. They're trying to attack, they've put the ball in the box, a good header out from Van Dijk, and then the counter-attack. But he's picked the ball up in his own half, Marlon. He's running at the Romanian defence. There's only 1 or 2 back, but he comes inside, in between 2 players. And then he's inside the box, and he's got the choice. Once he's come inside, Marin, he's got the choice to go for the far post or give the eyes and go to the near post. He's gone for the latter. You get it on target, you're going to score. It's 3-0. I mean, that's what you want from your super sub, isn't it? To come on and finish the game off. The finishers, as they're talked about nowadays. Harsh on Romania, but the Netherlands have been excellent.
Well, it's the first time he's scored 2 goals in a game for the Netherlands. Came on at half-time, of course, to replace Steven Bergwijn. And now it would be a massive surprise if he's not starting in Berlin on Saturday.
He's also made me think about man of the match now.
Well, in terms of an impact, it has been huge for Donald Marlon. And that was the final move of the game. The full-time whistle has gone, and Ronald Koeman and the Netherlands are into the quarter-finals. Romania's brave challenge has been vanquished in Munich today. Cody Gakpo with the opening goal. Romania had their moments, but 2 goals from Donald Marlon in the closing stages have made the scoreline look emphatic, and have the Dutch rediscovered their form just at the right time. It has finished Romania 0, the Netherlands 3.